In terms of security, the three major things that are needed are confidentiality. The data that the IoT device is sending should be sent in a privacy-preserving manner. Okay. Then integrity. Okay, the data, someone should not be able to tamper with the data. Then finally, authentication. If the data is coming from an IoT device, you should be able to verify the identity of that device, so that an attacker does not send you false data. Okay, so in terms of privacy, what could be the implications of privacy? So one of the major thing is user profiling. So for example, you have a smart meter and someone it's looking at the data of the smart meter, and based on that data, he or she knows that, okay, this person is at home at this time and he's not at home at this time because the electricity is not being used at that time. So based on that, they can, carry out theft in your house or whatever. And then someone might be able to track your location, because many of the smart devices, they would have location tracking in them. So if the data is not sent in a secure manner, an adversary can also use that. And then someone might be able to reveal your health data. It can be used by insurance companies, or it can be used by for other malicious intent. So when we talk about data integrity, right? So someone might want to tamper with the smart meters to carry out electricity theft. In a traffic signal, someone might want to disrupt the traffic by changing the data that is being sent by the traffic signals. Then you have some sensors, right? Temperature, pressure, and moisture, for example, in a nuclear power plant or somewhere where temperature is very important. For example, there is a meat processing plant which needs to keep the temperature within some optimal range. If an attacker gets access to the temperature sensors, they can cause the meat to go bad. And then finally, wearable devices, right? Your smartwatches and other. So the final one is authentication. So if an entity claims to be a device or user, it is indeed so. So how do you verify the identity of an IoT device? Okay, so there are different mechanisms, but the attacks I just showed you, most of the IoT devices don't even have any proper authentication mechanisms, and that caused all of those attacks. So those attacks did not require very complex kind of strategies. They just looked at the default login credentials and then went in. I still know some people whose password is like 123456. So it's not big science to figure that out. So if your password is that, then one day you might also be affected. Okay, so the device needs to be sure that the data it is sending to, or the control or the control signals which it is receiving are from the actual server, okay, and not from any attacker. And on the other hand, the server also needs to be sure that the data it is receiving is from the actual IoT device and not from some attacker who is impersonating the IoT device.